Greetings and welcome to the energy of Virgo. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. Please take only what you will. Today we'll be doing a reading during the Mercury retrograde season as well as post-eclipse season for the month of May 2024. And yeah, this should be interesting. We'll focus on Mercury as a ruler of Virgo. Now, the interesting thing is that what culminates in the sixth house is the culmination of the self. There is a movement towards the perfection of the self, which can be achieved in the cusp between Virgo and Libra. So that is what is interesting about it. Mercury takes its root into mutable earth, and in this there is a shifting. Usually there's a greater force that informs Mercury. It is Neptune in the 12th, and it activates this mystery, the pathway of the priest, the initiate, the seeker is in this house. It is also a house of seva, of service, and the little things, the small things equate to something greater, usually much, much greater. Now, we're not going to be focusing too much on finance this one. We'll be doing the quantum triangle. We're not going to be using the great mirror today either. It's for this month. This has to do with the pathway of ascension, a type of moving up in terms of social standing, especially in relation to the other. Now, your other is usually abstracted, mystical, in terms of their projection into this world, this reality. They come from a grid of light, and they usually are not to be understood in terms of their processing of old or outdated modes of sacrifice, okay, and trying to come and to understand how to embody the mystical. So their abstractions give an infinitude of Virgo's practical applications, their psychological analysis, their criticisms, their look into these people. It's what fascinates them. They tend to be fascinated, is the key word in Virgo's energy. The fastening is hexagonal. It has to do with 6 sides at least, 3 sides and 3 sides making a whole. 2 different worlds colliding together to create the nexus of the hexagonal sun, the energy of Virgo. So all these are some of the mystical aspects about Virgo and the path of ascension. It will be clear. It will be made through 2 distinct triangles that activate the quantum field, and this reading is designed to use the quantum field to see how there is a pathway of ascension for Virgo this month. The month of May 2024. Okay, May 2024. So we'll go and get started now. Firstly, I'd like to begin with a bit of a astrological primer in terms of karma. So I'll be using a deck from the 90s for that in particular, and then we'll move over to the 1890s deck, Grand Alietta, which is a French school deck. It's French. And it's really old, 130 years old. Okay, so this month is going to be interesting. A lot is activated with intellectual thoughts being polarized, and then an emotional reserve being accentuated. So there's a flow in this month, a flow. This flow goes back to the source, and it's going to be hard to intellectualize it. It may be difficult to truly express what this type of flow is, but the flow is here for this month. This is also what, Aquarius? No. What is it? It is Aquarian, but it's the opposite of it. Hello, spider. Aquarian and the opposite of it. So where did that spider go? Hopefully not into my person. Anyways, spider's gone. We have here also the 10 of rods in the past position, 8 of rods. This is a time of empowerment. There is a choice to return to this natural flow that goes back to the source. This is like a river that naturally has a tendency to go back to the sea of infinite consciousness. It's a very spiritual time. There's a choice. It's a hidden choice. It's one to let loose a burden. And to also go back to source, go back to an energy source. Return to source is very much here. You will be a student of this. You will be a jack, a page of this. You will be able to idealize and manifest a sense of worth during all of this. And it's found through this return to source. Very interesting reading, underscoring that the 3 of Pentacles. You're advised to let the influence that you find in connections when working with others to be coming from this source. This is a time for working for communities, working within social strata or social media forms, in order to bring back this source work. It's a resourcefulness, a time of resourcefulness. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get into the main reading, which is the quantum triangle. And I apologize if there's any sort of latency in terms of the delivery of this message, etc. Mercury retrograde, of course. Okay, that's good. Does it need further? Does it need further, this deck? It does not need further. This deck is ready. Are we going to be reading from the bottom? Yes, as an underscore. So I'm allowed to start now. So 2 triangles emerge. The first one is the 5 of Swords here, the Knight of Swords here in the reverse, also the Hanged Man in reverse. Hanged Man is very interesting here. So Hanged Man understands the science. They understand the science, but then this is also the activation of the 5th house and also Piscean energy. There's a relationship here that is like a type of ending in the past position. It's a short one and a short-lived, but it allows for the path of Dharma to emerge. The paths are very interesting. You're here to walk it also with the High Priestess in the 2nd triangle, the 2nd quantum triangle. Hopefully that is visible properly. High Priestess here is in reverse. The path that she observes, she then now can walk, or perhaps begin to walk. With this first quantum triangle, it's very interesting. We have here the Knight, who negates the 5, becomes the 4. There's a period here of restfulness, slow thinking, chilling out in terms of the mind, not really trying too hard. The path becomes a point of question. The Priestess reveals herself, and there's something said in the silence of ignorance. There's something said in the silence of ignorance. What else? So the path of ascension is found in the meditation of the mind this month. It's important not to try to communicate to anyone who is unavailable, obviously. A lot of the communication will be unsaid. It will be felt. With the energy of Virgo stimulated in reverse here, the 12th house is activated. This is a very mystical time for your ascension. It has to do with silencing the mind and delving into a type of ignorance, a blissful ignorance. Okay, it comes through the mystical path of the 12th house, which is also a path of destructive qualities. Don't let that deter you. It's a secret path. It's one that you've observed in situations. There's a situation in the past that you've let go of, or it's ended. With the 8 here in reverse. Once again, that return to source energy, something that you have invested in the past. Tried to find a challenging new thing, and it led back. There's a rubber band effect, led back to something here. Source is very strong. Another theme of this month is resourcefulness. Coming back to that resourcefulness, recycling, going back to source is very strong in this month. Once again, there also is the 6 here. So the difference here is the two of cups in reverse. There has to do with this reading has to do with purification. It has to do also with connections that are felt but not spoken about, connections that are definitely it's like letting go, letting loose, this type of energy. Super abstract in the quantum field. So a lot has to do with silencing the mind, observing situations, relationships from the past, observing the path of those relationships, and then working out the pathing. You will know intuitively where to go. Your path of ascension is linked to the silencing of the mind. Find ways of meditation. Try not to vocalize things. Don't rely too much on communication with others. In the future, there is a possibility of really coming into a type of connection here. It is independent. There's no dependency in this connection. You're going to be able to retrace yourself to authenticity in the future. This will allow you to really process and come into being and aligning with the natural flow of things when it comes to resourcefulness, coming back to the source energy, and not having to worry about too much in terms of that. So the quantum field is showing us this. There are 2 horses here in the reverse, especially with the knight of rods and the knight of swords here. There's a transmutation of air to fire. This has to do with surrendering both. It's not your job to search for the path of Dharma, to search for correct ways of doing things. It is a time for slowing down and realizing through the chariot, which does not show up here, realizing the potential path that always returns, okay? So you're supposed to rewind in this time period, unwind in that rewinding, and come back to the power of stillness. This is a time also of converting any situations, any expectations of those situations in terms of love and conditionality, to retrofit those. This is a time to be patient. Teachers will naturally come into your life at this time period, as well as they're not just regular teachers. They're very high in their intellect, their ability to be patient, to be aligned with solar energy, to give you the messages you need. Okay, these are rooted in the footsteps of empowerment, as well as foundation in this reality and in the structures that come with manifestation, empowerment through the triangles. Okay, let's see, is there a 4th card? No. Is there a 4th sequence? No. Okay, I've said all I need to say for this month. Hopefully you take that, use it to help guide you in whatever way possible. Yeah, I do thank you for your continued support of the channel. If you would like a private reading, I could be made available. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of work, side work, as well as academic work on the side, but I can make time. Just let me know. Otherwise, I do wish you well. Take care. Bye bye.